Let's get started with the national news. The presidential candidate for Chama cha Mapinduzi CCM party, Dr. John Magufuli, has begun the third round of his campaigns in Iringa region, pledging to make the region a tourist hub in the Southern Highlands zone so that residents can benefit from their national resources.
Lakini katika uwanja wa ndege tumepanga kupanua kweli kweli.
We want to expand, so it is big and large aircrafts are able to land. So Iringa becomes a tourist center, just like it is in Kilimanjaro and Arusha. And we want to promote Ruaha National Park, which is extensive. It is a big reserve. But also here in Iringa, you have another big heritage, Isimila. Even Chief Mkwawa residents, it is a tourist area for the people of Iringa. Give us votes so we do wonders for Iringa and the whole country. We will build and encourage citizens to construct irrigation dams in areas with little rain. And in the next 5 years, we plan to start up agricultural centers in zones to 1,000. We will focus on livestock keeping, including training farms.
Tutahakikisha mifugo yote inapata chanjo, ambazo chanjo 13 za kipaumbele zitatolewa bure.
UPDP presidential candidate Ibrahim Twalib Kadege said that if Tanzanians elect the party to lead the country, his government intends to resolve corruption by jailing for 100 years those found guilty of corrupt offences.
Our first job will be to raise a motion in Parliament that anyone found to be guilty of corruption, be it by offering or receiving, he will be taken to court and sentenced 100 years and 100 canes, without caring if the one guilty is related to me. Our counterpart is doing well, but we will take it from where he has left and do more. We will tarmac all roads in rural areas because that is where all production takes place. We will provide power tiller for the farmer, and tractor will be placed in an area that specializes in agriculture.
Production yote hatuwezi kuacha barabara kule mbovu, tuanzia lami vijijini tunakuja mijini.
Police used tear gas at Nyamongo area at the convoy of Chadema presidential candidate Tundu Lissu, which was coming from Tarime district, Mara region, and heading towards Arusha and Kilimanjaro regions.
The people of Serengeti, who have named this park, livestock has been taken from you by park wardens. This struggle has been on for years. It did not begin yesterday or 2 days ago. It did not begin 10 years ago or 20 years ago, but of many years. Every year the people of Serengeti and Tarime are not safe. Serengeti belongs to you before 51. Serengeti National Park was started in 1951 by the British colonialists. Before that, this land belonged to you. You had cattle and hunted and gathered firewood. But the new law of 1959 announced Serengeti National Park boundaries.
Serengeti.
Tanzania Labour Party TLP has pledged to Zanzibar citizens to review all investment and government contracts causing loss to the government and dissolve them if elected into office in the Isles.
Yote katika serikali na wawekezaji itapitishwa na baraza la wakilishi au bunge.
Approval will come from representative council or members of parliament to control corruption and bad contracts which cause our country to incur loss. We ask all citizens who love our country to come forward and vote on the 28th for TLP presidential candidate in Zanzibar, parliamentary seat candidates and councillors, so TLP could implement its party's manifesto.
Na kuongeza vyuo vya ufundi ili vijana wapate mafunzo ya ufundi
By increasing training colleges, the youth can have access to technical training and be able to self-employ or be employed. So as to reduce unemployment, TLP will allocate land to the citizens and give them title deeds so that they can take out credit and buy farm implements in order to improve agriculture.
Kilimo na kuondoa tatizo la ukosefu wa ajira.
ACT Wazalendo Zanzibar presidential Maalim Seif Sharif Hamad during campaigns in Pwani. Mchanganyi has said that he will ensure that the Zanzibar he leads, if elected, has autonomous authority, including returning Zanzibar to the United Nations.
Kwa rais, bandari itajengwa.
The port will be constructed. We will build a port in Zanzibar. It is all right. Why must they build everywhere? Kigoma, Dar es Salaam, Bagamoyo. Zanzibar, no. Today, under this union, everything important. It is not in Zanzibar.
Iliyokuwa ni dola ina empire. Leo imefanywa manispa.
Today, it has been turned into a municipality. It was an empire April 26, 1964. Zanzibar was a member of the United Nations. After the union, we lost that honor. So as to gain power, we must demand for a right to be a member of the United Nations. This is what will further open Zanzibar.
Presidential candidate for ADC political party, Queen Singida, said that if her government is elected into office, she will ensure all women receive equal rights to men, as well as ensure health, education and employment are improved within the first 100 days.
Siku 100 nikiingia kwenye madaraka, cha kwanza nataka nihakikishe miundo mbinu ya Tanzania inafikika kwa uhakika 100%.
When I get into power, what I will do first is to make sure that infrastructure in Tanzania is accessible 100% and that all Tanzanians have access to health 100% and schools use new curriculum that will produce a modern generation.
Na kasi ya mabadiliko pia ya hali halisi ya kidunia, nikimaanisha kasi ya kitaalamu.
And the President of Zanzibar and Chairman of the Revolutionary Council, Dr. Ali Mohammed Shein, has urged government officials with the responsibility of serving the public to stop being selfish and instead be patriotic. Dr. Shein made the statement after launching the Terminal 3 building at the Abeid Amani Karume Airport that was built at a cost of 298,513 shillings with government funds.
We should be able to receive large aircrafts with capacity to carry more passengers. This will increase revenue in our country. I remember Emirates promised to bring their aircraft in Unguja. They have started with Fly Dubai. Now we have a big building, so it is my hope that they will bring large aircrafts. We'll have capacity to serve 1.6 million per annum. They will now be able to handle more passengers and tourists.
Ilani ya uchaguzi ya CCM ya mwaka 2020-2025.
22 students of Eustace Secondary School in Yasaka area, Limela District, Mwanza region, escaped death after the boys' dormitory caught fire and burnt down various items while the boys were in class.
22 students used this dormitory. The cause of the fire was electrical failure. We put out the fire using fire extinguishers, which has helped about 95%. By the time the fire brigade arrived, we had almost put out the fire. School administration must up security. There must also be patrons and matrons as well as security officers. We're not happy that children's education is going to be affected because already school fees has been paid. As you know, a few months ago there was also a delay because of Corona, so we would not like for them to be further delayed.
Moto ni mimi nilikuwa nimekaa hapo kwenye kibanda changu nikashuhudia moto.
I saw flames coming up. There was a lot of smoke. So I went and alerted the teachers.
Niende nikawaambie kule walimu. Kuona kufikisha walimu kuna umbali kidogo, nikabidi nikatishe niende niwaambie wanafunzi wakawaambia walimu.
And that's all for the national news. International news is next. And now in international news. President Uhuru Kenyatta of Kenya has announced an extension of the daily dusk to dawn curfew for an additional 60 days to avert the spread of the coronavirus. The curfew time has been adjusted from 9 p.m. to 11 p.m. with directives expected to take effect from Tuesday, September 29th.
As we progressively de-escalate the containment measures and resume a sense of normalcy, on education, our paramount consideration, both as a government, but also as parents, is the safety and well-being of our children. The lives of our children and their health is not a matter for debate. Learning institutions, therefore, should only be reopened when we have and can sufficiently guarantee the safety of all our children. And here, I really would plead with Kenyans, let us not focus ourselves on when schools will reopen, but how shall these schools open in a manner that protects our children and protects their lives and their health. Tafadhali, tusiwe tunapigana juu ya mambo ambaye, let us think first.
And a judge in Washington, D.C. has temporarily blocked a controversial order by the Trump administration that was set to bar downloads of the popular Chinese-owned short video app TikTok on Monday at 11:59 p.m. District Judge Carl Nichols, a nominee of President Donald Trump, who joined the court last year, said he was issuing a temporary injunction at the request of TikTok, which the White House has accused of being a threat to national security. And the former senator of Mombasa in Kenya, Hassan Omar, has called on residents not to support the Building Bridges Initiative, BBI, as it will continue to undermine them. He has also criticized the leader of opposition, ODM, Raila Odinga, whom he claimed was only interested in personal gain.
He is now working with the government to dismantle the Constitution of Kenya, so Kenyans during the election of 2022, they will make history. They will send the government home and send the opposition home. They will bring a new government, a new opposition. What is inside BBI is not a joke. It is not about small handouts, because this doesn't solve problems affecting Kenya.
And that's all for the international news. We'll be back with business news after this break.
Watch Business Edition as we talk to business leaders and experts in sectors that are transforming Tanzania's economy.
We believe that the driver is the customer.
To change the mindset of traditional HR to digitalization.
Make sure that everybody can get some access to financial services.
And once we understand the vision of our leaders, we then need to be behind them and help them in achieving that vision.
Business have involved mercantile operations, trade guilds, or shared agricultural production, infrastructure, construction, financial sectors, tourism, and mining. Business Edition on Friday at 8:15 p.m.
And now in business news. Turnover at the Dar es Salaam Stock Exchange has gone up from 45.4 billion to 64.4 billion shillings, which is an increase of 42%. The increase has been contributed by active trading from foreign investors.
In basic market capitalization, there was a reduction because of reduced price in Vodacom, despite an increase in Trigger Company. The reduction in Vodacom exceeded the increase in Trigger, leading to a decrease in internal market of at least 150 billion compared to last week. But generally, there has been an increase in the market of at least 30 billion compared to last week.
Kulikuwa na ongezeko la karibu bilioni 30 ukilinganisha na wiki iliyopita.
The Minister of Minerals, Dr. Biteko, has directed investors and licensed mine owners to adhere to laws of the country, which do require them to give dividends for social services to communities near the mine.
I'd like to remind all investors in the country to observe all laws and guidelines on mining, including involving the citizens on various business opportunities. Mining license holders are also reminded to observe the law regarding service and various taxes. As a company, we have plans to enable small and medium-scale miners to become big ones. This is why we are offering credit for short and long term.
Livestock keepers in Monduli District, Arusha region, have started to benefit from an improved breeding program that has enabled them to access reliable markets in and out of the country.
We went to fatten goats and cattle. This has allowed us to have a better livelihood, and now we have houses roofed with iron sheets. When I sold 4 cows and 6 goats, we got 6 million. There are many groups within the district who are engaging in this activity and have benefited.
And that's all for the business news. Sports is up next.
Away first time, good start from Bolt. Bolt leading a moment of going away. Kane trying to go with him, and he's being dragged through the second place, but he's going to win it by 2 meters. Away first time, good start from Bolt. Bolt leading a moment of going away. Kane trying to go with him, and he's being dragged through the second place, but he's going to win it by 2 meters. Opposition, Joaquinho, he did lose to Lendl.
And now in sports. Young Africans Yanga Sports Club have condemned the actions of some fans who took the law into their own hands to beat Simba SC fans who had attended their match against Mtibwa Sugar on Sunday. Here's more on this story.
Issued a statement asking the police to investigate and arrest the fans who were involved in the act, which they've termed as unfortunate. During the match against Mtibwa, Yanga made it 3 wins out of 3 after they bet the Sugar Millers 1-0 courtesy of a well-taken goal from Lamine Moro. Moro broke the deadlock just 2 minutes after the hour mark to give the local heavyweights a deserved lead after many attempts had gone off target.
And Jamhuri Stadium is the latest facility to be banned from hosting any top-tier matches, effective immediately. Here are more details.
The stadium standards have been going down owing to poor maintenance by the management. It is for this reason the Tanzania Premier League Board, TPLB, has decided to act. The board recently banned Ushirika Stadium in Moshi from hosting any competitive matches and gave them 3 weeks to renovate the facility.
Miami Heat set up NBA Finals with Lakers after surging to win over the Boston Celtics. Bam Adebayo scored a season-high 32 points and grabbed 14 rebounds. Butler scored 22 points, and the Heat won the Eastern Conference Finals for the 6th time by topping the Boston Celtics 125-113 on Sunday night.
Lakers for the title. Tyler Herro scored 19 points, Duncan Robinson and Andre Iguodala each had 15, and Goran Dragic added 13 for the Heat. Jaylen Brown scored 26 points, Jason Tatum had 24 and career-high 11 assists, and Marcus Smart and Kemba Walker each scored 20 points for Boston, who fell in the East Finals for the 3rd time in the last 4 seasons. Miami were down by 6 early in the 4th before regaining control. A 6-0 burst, Herro had the last 5 of those points, tied it at 96. Boston took the lead twice more, with Adebayo answering both times, first with a dunk, then go-ahead 3-point play with 6 minutes and 16 seconds left. They never trailed again.
Jurgen Klopp has said he is satisfied with Liverpool's central defensive options and will not be active the final week of the transfer window unless a fresh injury problem arises at Anfield.
Had to deploy Fabinho at centre-half at Chelsea last week and gave the 19-year-old Reece Williams his debut against Liverpool on Thursday, with both Joe Gomez and Joel Matip injured. Gomez is in contention for the match against Arsenal on Monday, having resumed training on Friday, but given his and Matip's injury records, plus the summer departure of Dejan Lovren, the Premier League champions could be stretched in that department this season. Klopp has been impressed by the pre-season form of the 17-year-old Billy Cometio, however, and he believes Liverpool are well covered in central defence and have no need to spend again in the final days of the window.
Pep Guardiola said Manchester City's 5-2 humbling by Leicester was the result of his players lacking stability and belief after a rampant Jamie Vardy scored a hat-trick for the visitors. Here's the story.
Side have a maximum 9 points from their opening 3 matches. City have 3 from 2. Despite registering first via an early Riyad Mahrez goal, Guardiola admitted his team then lost their way. Guardiola brushed off any concerns over dropping points so early in the title race. Vardy scored from 2 penalties after 37 and 58 minutes that sandwiched a flicked goal. Yuri Tillmans converted Leicester's 3rd penalty late in the second half, and that followed a memorable 20-yard finish from James Maddison. Nathan Ake scored Manchester City's 2nd.
And that sports item ends our news bulletin. On behalf of everyone who worked to bring you this bulletin, my name is Vanessa Victor. Thank you for watching. Good night.
Yes, first of all, the turnout, Vanessa, is amazing as it is. Thomas, hello.
Nice to be there with you.
What is the purpose of this meeting and who will be in attendance?
Talking about how African countries can stop relying to a large extent on...
We are definitely seeing a lot of deeply political films, either directly treating a political issue or with a political subtext.
Don't miss the live special report between Capital Television and Doswell Television at 9:30 p.m.
Yes.